Welcome to the Jamly Chick, the only podcast that the beat sticks to your soul like glitter on the carpet. I am Alexius Lipo, your host, vibe curator, and occasional overthinker. If you're still checking out music from 2023, you found the right spot because it's time to get weird. Hey, welcome to the Jamly Chick. Today we have with us my co-host, Jason Lipo.
What's up, everybody?
And also coming to the stage right now, we have the one and only Ajeva. Welcome to the stage, guys. We're super pumped to have y'all with us. And we just had to stop talking because we were in the middle of a conversation. I was like, whoa, we got to get this recorded. So so you guys, I was just telling you guys that I was absolutely shocked because I absolutely love the band Disco. And as I was talking to y'all's manager a couple of weeks ago, he was like, man, y'all got to check this band out. I was like, okay. And I fell in love with y'all. And then, when I look on the internet yesterday, y'all and Disco are together in St. Petersburg, was it?
Yeah.
In Florida?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Two bands that I'm totally into right now. In the same article, I was like, yes, the universe is telling us something that, this is awesome. So I'm super pumped for you guys that, the season's starting out super hot. I mean, with an article and everything like that, because y'all are just starting out, like getting on the road, right?
Yeah. We've been, we're heading up to North Carolina next weekend, do some shows actually.
I'm super pumped. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be at quite a few of them. There's been friends going back and forth because they'll be up here in North Carolina, guys. Y'all will be in Pizza.
We're going to be Pisgah on Thursday the 15th, and then Sierra Nevada the 16th, and
Charlotte
at the it's like the US NWC Center.
Yeah, it's the Whitewater.
The Whitewater Center, doing one of their River Jam shows.
Yeah,
that's fun up there.
I'm super pumped about that because I haven't been to the Whitewater Center yet, and I've just heard all these awesome things about it. Have y'all been up there yet? Have y'all been up there?
We were there, I want to say last summer. Yeah, last summer we were out there.
Yeah,
awesome. It was a great time.
It's a cool spot. We did some zip lining over the river.
Oh, that's awesome.
We had the option to go on the rafts. You can go on rafts around the music, which is pretty cool. But we didn't have enough time. But next time.
Next time we're gonna have super fun and do this because y'all will actually be in North Carolina coming, so it won't be as far as the drive. So fingers crossed we can make this happen and have lots of fun, guys, because y'all are going to be in our stomping territory right now. So I'm pumped about that. Pumped to meet y'all here. So
why don't you just give a brief introduction of everybody in the band and what you play, if you don't mind.
But
I'm Mike. I play guitar.
Tucker. I play the drums.
Reed, guitar and vocals.
Lyndon, keyboards.
I'm Taylor. I play the bass. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So how did y'all come up with the name?
Ajeva is from Sanskrit. It was a word, which is the first written language, and it was a word that was Jiva, which kind of explained how certain shapes can create any living organism. And so we just changed the spelling so that when you search it, you find us and not the other word.
Awesome.
Oh, that's
very
cool. I'm so into Sanskrit. That's so awesome. You can't see a lot of my tattoos on here, but if you could see them, you'd be like, oh yeah. So that totally fits with it. And
sacred geometry.
So, well, that's really, really, really cool. And so what would you describe, for people who haven't heard your music, what would you describe as your type of music and what it sounds like? Because I have a couple of listening to it, the first thing I listened to, I was just like, okay, this is a lot of reggae style. And then y'all's latest thing that y'all have released is a total different swing this way. And it's amazing. It's so amazing that y'all have those completely 180 different dynamics that can do that. So why don't you give the audience an idea
how your sound evolved.
Yeah.
I think like some of our older recordings, there was definitely a lot more of that reggae influence. So I think that song you're listening to, that's kind of that era that it came from. And really, I think it's just like our tastes and the music we're listening to, like at any given time, has kind of influenced what we're writing at that time. And so it's been kind of a cool journey. Like we'll like do reggae, do like funk stuff, obviously more heavy like rock, almost like metal kind of things going on. Um, and then obviously like the improv element, I think kind of ties it all together. And which that having that many styles to pull from, it makes it kind of fun and more interesting, like when we take it to different places, because you never kind of know what we're going to be doing. It kind of gives it more variety, and it's fun. It's a good time.
The surprise shock factor kind of, just straight chilling and then straight, deathcore metal.
Well, it's like, this is a great example. I feel like our latest single, Rodent Mouth, is like, it's like a prog rock song, it's like rockin' heavy riffs, got all these odd meters and stuff. And then our single, the most recent one before that, is like, I don't know, it's like John Mayer sob rock vibes, it's like like a pop tune, so it's cool to be able to have like I don't know, just the spectrum of being able to do all these different things. But yeah, it's like one song will be one thing, one will be something else completely. Someone at a show recently actually said, I don't know if this is like a compliment or not, but they were like, oh, well, if you don't like one song from Ajeva, you might like the next one.
Well, that's awesome. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Like, just because it's throwing things up, it's just keeping it spicy. It's never the same thing. And also going to so many concerts over time, certain bands, you'll just be like, man, you'll get that all the time, but I'm going to go to this band because you never know what you're going to get. It's going to be something different. It's going to be a different style. And so coming to that like different style, where did y'all get your influences from? Like where,
Yeah, what are you listening to now that developed Rodent Mouth and stuff like that?
I think Rodent Mouth came from, we wrote it kind of before we all knew we were listening to this band, but we all listened to him pretty heavy, is King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard.
Yep.
That's a big influence on that song in particular.
Definitely. That's awesome.
And King Gizzard Lizard Wizard. I think that's the correct pronunciation. But something that they do a lot is like whatever the fuck they want,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like synthy pop shit for one record. Then the next record will be all metal. And I feel like as a musician, like you generally like multiple genres, but they're to me like a trailblazer of, hey, you can do this and like be successful doing essentially whatever you want.
Right. Having the artistic freedom.
Yeah. I love you saying that because they are like, I never even thought of it like that, but they are kind of that trailblazers of, like F you, like we're just going to do whatever we want, whatever we're feeling. And that's kind of why we did this podcast. Cause I was just tired of like being put in a little box. Like, well, you can only do this type of music. I like all types of music, like seriously. So my main question is like, what did you karaoke to in the shower this morning? Because it always tells what type of mood you're in for the day, So I'm like, so who karaoke to what in the shower last?
On the car ride here, I was listening to Slender Bodies. If you ever heard of them.
I haven't heard.
That's I'm like, oh, I gotta write this down.
It's pretty mild, chill, like driving. If you're not in a rush, check them out.
Definitely will. That's another good reason I like to ask that question, is because it's always you're gonna find something new. So you're in a super chill vibe today. So that's awesome. Good. But
what's your shower karaoke song, Tucker?
Today I karaoke to The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie audiobook.
That's awesome.
I mean, look, there's only one correct answer to this question, and I think we all know what song it is. It's the what a fool believes.
Ooh, what Michael believes.
Oh, yeah.
Doobie Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael McDonald. Come on now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
Oh yeah.
That's
What
the-
song did you say?
What a fool believes.
What a fool believes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just missed it over like the. I was.
What a
This-
fool believes.
yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
anytime we have to like wake up really early to like go on the road or travel somewhere, or it's kind of anytime it's a shit like travel situation, we'll like put that on and it'll be like 5 a.m. and it's just do, 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 do. And you're like, all right, cool.
Alright.
The morale boosting song.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
brings up the
Yeah.
morale every time.
They're on repeat, by the way.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just
There are some songs that you might have to just to get
Yeah.
get it going, get that beat going. And the more tired I am, the longer I might have to put it on repeat.
It also helps like everyone load the trailer a little quicker because they know as soon as we're done, we're gonna turn the song off. So they're like, "Oh, let's get this going." Yeah.
Do you guys
They-
have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Michael McDonald?
Always.
Always. So, here this is. It's like,
So what was your guys' shower karaoke song?
oh.
Let's see.
Flip of the script.
Oh no! Come on! You know what you've been singing all day, which has been like all day. Tell them.
What did I sing today? I haven't.
Oh, whatever. Tequila.
Oh, I work at a bar, and so tonight they're wanting me to take over karaoke, and I can't sing whatsoever, and so they're like, if I have to sing a song, I'm singing tequila, So that's all I got to say is tequila.
Nice.
I did Jamiroquai's what's the name of it?
Not virtual insanity, right?
No, I think it was Canned Heat.
Canned heat.
Yeah, I did Jamiroquai's Canned Heat is what I did this morning. So I was just like, dude, I love him, and that I can't even remember. I don't know why. What's my main song that I always like put on since college?
There are so many main songs over the years, so I don't know.
Oh shit. Brain fart, but there's like the main song, like the first song when I was in college. I have epilepsy, by the way, so this is why like there'll just be just like
Appears I do too, because I can't remember either.
I'll have like just like complete, we'll be in the middle of talking and I'll just be like, what? And so it's just a part of the journey, and kind of how like we got here is because we love music so much. And then I was declared disabled 5 years ago, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do life now? And so we got into going to music and then doing photography, and then someone asked me to be on a podcast, and then so here we are today, and it's a really cool thing to be staying involved, and literally because of the music community is like literally what's gotten me through. So sorry for that brain fart moment, but that brings y'all up to speed, because a lot of people like we know, and they know that I have it, and they'll like try and help me think on it and stuff, and so I literally cannot think, so that one's just right out the window. But anyway, so
well, if whatever show you go to this weekend, we'll play some Jamiroquai. We do a few of their songs.
oh,
Awesome.
This is awesome. This is good stuff. So let's see.
So with like your dynamic and your sound and stuff, do you during practice and stuff, how often do you just like go from like tearjerker like ballad to like King Giz hard stuff? Do you like play like practice games with that and stuff, and like bounce around the room between each other and do that stuff?
So actually the two songs that we're kind of working on right now are basically what you're saying. One is like pretty songwriter or chordy melodies, and then there's this other like heavy riff thing that we're working on. So That happens a lot.
Awesome.
It's really
Where
cool.
do you, what do you find, like, where do y'all usually find yourself leading more to, like, now? Like, would it be more like just more towards the heavier end now, or is it just still more of a balance kind of
I
thing?
think it depends on who's writing it and how they feel that day, because you're gonna put out whatever you're, you know, whatever you're feeling or whatever you're trying to get across. So I think it varies depending on, you know, the situation.
I feel like I would say though that we are leaning more into the, like, I'm not gonna say thrash, but like the heavier rock side of things. It seems like that lately.
I think also to balance out like the total song list, like we like playing the heavy stuff, and we have a few heavy songs, but we want more to choose from, so we're not playing like the same heavy song all the time. Whenever we
Right.
want something heavy, you know.
Yeah. Awesome.
So what would you expect like what should we expect at a concert? Because that was another thing I was thinking, like, you know, y'all have such a spectrum of music, and that's one thing that I'm really excited to see y'all live for is just what do we expect when we come to a show? Because y'all do have such, do we get both sides of that? Do we get your reggae side and your harder side, or like is the reggae kind of
It
pushed
depends on the show. I think the like overall underlying tone of it is like kind of like funky dance vibes for a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, to be completely honest, we don't really play any of the reggae stuff anymore live.
We do some of it, but
Make a Difference kind of has a
Can you play one little reggae song for me?
It's, I bet you it's
Yeah.
either Floating Molecules or Off the Mountain that she's talking about.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
yeah.
We'll play
Or
that.
Funky Green Man. It's probably Funky Green
Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
which we don't play that song.
Which we don't play. Just crush my hopes and dreams. Just
No,
like
no.
Well, I didn't want to,
A lot of these
I don't want to
sections,
mislead you, you know.
a lot of the sections in our songs where we're improvising are kind of open to interpretation every time we play them. So we don't even know what is going to happen in them. So it could go anywhere, you know.
that's I'm really pumped to see y'all, because I just like don't y'all literally I've listened to so much different music, and I'm literally, just to be honest, thrown. I got thrown in the last like 2 hours because I've been preparing for like this type of music, and then Jason comes in literally right before I get in the shower, and he's like, Alexius, have you heard their newest release on this? And I was like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, what do you mean? I thought that I was
I did my homework. She did.
and I was like,
Yo,
wait a minute.
I want to take a moment right here because I feel like this is a great opportunity to shout out. If anyone is watching, we have a good amount of full shows, pro audio, multi-camera on YouTube. So if you're wondering, what does this band Ajeva sound like? What am I going to see when I go to their show? You can go to our YouTube page and check out all those videos and kind of get a good idea about what the experience might be like when you get there in person. But you can expect to dance, I will tell you that.
Awesome.
Also, if you're driving and you don't want to crash and watch YouTube, they're also on Bandcamp. You can go to Bandcamp and just stream
more
the
on
audio.
Bandcamp.
Yeah. Almost
not
every show is
Nugs.
on Bandcamp.
Are you on Nugs yet?
Not Nugs yet. We're working on it though.
Working on it.
That's
Buddy, no.
If you know a guy.
Anyone out there listening got a hookup at Nugs, let us know.
I think we might.
I think we might. We'll see what we can. We'll throw this one of our friends' way, and he might just be able to get and help you out.
Awesome.
So yeah, well, that's super cool. I'm so happy you said that, because I was just like, what do we expect? And why did I not think of that? Why do I underutilize YouTube as much as I do?
I don't know. I was watching YouTube this morning, and I liked what I saw.
Yeah, it's sick. But that's what. So y'all were
It does.
definitely definitely changed my shower part. Like what I was, so y'all were, and I was like, oh, I was definitely grooving with it. I really like it. So y'all were not changed in my shower. Y'all weren't yelled for to be changed. So yeah, I was like, I'm digging this. So that's why exactly I was like, what should I expect? And that's where I was completely thrown. So now check it out on YouTube. You got, live videos and everything of concerts going on. And it's exactly what we needed to know for sure also. And
yeah, honestly, now that I think of it, I feel like there's one performance where it's a festival performance from this festival around here called Whippersnap that we play every year. And we have that whole setup on YouTube. And I feel like that is a great representation of the overall sound of the band. Just the set list that night, the vibe, the energy we were giving off that night. I feel like that's kind of a quintessential, like if you're like, all right, what is this band? What is this band all about? If you watch that video, I feel like it answers that question pretty well.
Awesome. Good deal. So
So if you could play with any musician from any time period, who would you play with?
Rough.
I feel like for me, it's gotta be Pink Floyd or David
Ah.
Gilmour.
Yeah, it's a good one.
oh man.
Awesome.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to talk her into going see David Gilmour when he was MSG last
I
year.
went.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
It was incredible. One of the best shows
I
I've
bet.
seen in my life by far.
Oh man,
Well,
totally jealous.
Thanks. Thanks for just kicking that one in.
That's awesome that you went to that.
He's
though.
old. I was like, I have to, this guy's a legend.
Yeah.
But anyway, everyone
No,
else.
totally. It's just hard to catch all of them, man. That's just what So, but
Yeah.
that's really cool that you say that, because honestly, I thought way before now I would get that answer, and I haven't gotten that answer. And it's just such a staple. Like, it's not just such a Pink Floyd just has so many, just like y'all have so many different spectrums. And so that makes such sense of why that y'all would mesh well together. And so that's really cool.
I feel like that's for me. I don't know. What about
I
y'all?
probably want to jam with like Pythagoras.
Yeah, he invented
Yeah, like hear some octaves and stuff. Maybe
No,
I
really.
think it'd be kind of cool.
That would be really cool. I just want to jam with
Awesome.
Beethoven to see how he does it.
Pythagoras.
I'm
Yeah.
going.
Pythagoras.
I'd say Incubus or the Beatles.
Sweet.
Beatles are good.
Oh, you just tickled my fancy.
Yeah, both of those are great answers.
I go Beatles.
Well, all of them are great answers.
Got the Beatles.
Beatles.
You kind of
Beatles
look
are
like
great.
But
Yeah.
give you a bowl cut.
I'm speaking about as much as I can.
London.
I think it's easier to choose someone modern, so I'm gonna say Michael Leake. He's just my guy from Snarky Puppy.
Nice.
Really interesting. That's cool.
He's my
Awesome.
guy.
It's so cool to hear how all different each one of y'all's answers are, and that's the beautiful thing about music, and is how that y'all can all bring those influences and styles together in the music in the making now and in the studio and then out on the stage. Like, is there anyone in particular that you ever saw as a child or going to concerts that really inspired you? Because people can be musically inspiring, but like who, like on stage wise, was inspiring for y'all, and still maybe to this day, like as
stage presence.
Yeah, whose stage presence was like all that in a bag of chips for y'all?
My first show was Under Oath.
Oh, wow.
Coheed Cambria, and Under Oath has been like, especially younger, was like my favorite shit. So I would say Under Oath was like the big
Hell
influence growing up. Well,
Great
know,
one.
That'd be cool.
yeah.
Anyone else?
When I was a kid, my dad took me to see.
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah. No, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was when I was like 10 or 11, and like Flea up there, like playing the bass and like going crazy. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
so-
coolest dad ever.
yeah, he's awesome.
We got to meet him for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I was I think 11 or 12, my first two concerts I ever went to were in the same month, and my mom took me to see Aerosmith and then Dave Matthews Band, and it was
Oh, wow.
this crazy, this so different, but I was like the Steven Tyler thing. He just had this crazy high voice and was like commanding, you know, this just insane. I can't even explain it. Like he at one point he jumped on a bar swing under his legs. He was hanging upside down, swinging over the audience, clapping people's hands. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's
That's awesome.
insane. That's awesome.
Both of you guys have big ass mouths too, so it kinda
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Reed and Steven Tyler. Big mouth.
Yeah. Sorry, that's so true. That's a good one.
The last story post we did, Mike put like, what is she? It was like something I was eating.
that was Tucker.
Oh, that was you. What did it say?
It said POV, you're about to eat a microphone in one bite.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was good. It looked like it could have done it too.
Yeah.
He could have pulled it off.
Oh my gosh. Which the one with the microphone, like with the stuff all around it that he has singing. Who'd you just say?
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
him in concert. I love him. His stage presence is amazingly insane, and just that microphone stand everywhere. Like I don't think in our age group, our range, if you don't know Steven Tyler's stage presence, that's a sad thing, you know, because I don't see how he can move with that microphone stand. It'll just be everywhere. I'm like, I wonder what he would look like at home on a stripper pole. I mean, you know that everyone thinks that question. Once through a
I didn't
concert.
think that.
No, seriously, like once through a concert, y'all never.
Karaoke song.
Yeah.
I mean, he's carrying that thing around.
Sweet emotion.
Yeah, Sweet Emotion goes hard.
Yeah.
I play that song sometimes with the mixing. That's fun. And
Awesome. Yeah, I can definitely hear a little bit of Brendan Boyd in your vocals there, Reed.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I grew up listening to them and really took a lot of inspiration from them songwriting wise.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
We love Incubus too. So
I feel like you even kind of look like him in a way.
I literally was thinking the same thing. Like when you said that, and like with your hair back and everything, like I was just like, snap. He almost like has like the look and stuff of Brandon Boyd and everything, like with the hair slicked back and it.
Yo,
I thought that.
take the shirt off, let the hair down. You'll look exactly like.
So what's the one piece of gear setup in your gear or your instruments that's sacred in your setup?
Right there.
Show them.
This bad boy right
On the
here.
frame?
In the room.
There she is.
There she
Beautiful.
is. What's her name? If y'all haven't named her yet,
Yeah.
shame on y'all.
Yeah.
Not pronounced.
We don't want to name her because if we lose her, then it's going to be more sad.
yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Just like losing an animal. We can't name her.
Yeah, we lost the 300-pound box.
I'm so right now.
It's like when you don't name your fish, you know, because you don't want.
Yeah.
What? Everyone names their fish, bro. Come on.
The one that must not be.
Well, her uncle even
must
named
not be
his
named.
Yeah.
her uncle named his little like robot vacuum Rosie, you know, from the Jetsons.
Nice.
Everything's
So
got a name.
That piece of gear controls all of our in-ears for live shows, and that's where we run all of it's basically the brain of everything.
Oh
Yeah, let's
man,
just
I
like
need
record all
that.
our posts and everything, and yeah, gets it done.
Awesome.
It's really cool. I always wondered how that worked, like how y'all were able to hear each other play, and it's a very interesting thing. So really cool y'all brought that up. Like how do you, so how does that work? Oh, like did what you're playing goes through and you're able to hear, and are y'all able to turn up other people, and do some of y'all feed off of other people in the band more than That's a
Yeah,
whole big
so
question.
listening to.
It like you send it, you mic everything up, and it sends it all like the individual channels, and then there's we all have like apps on our phones or like on a computer kind of thing where you can adjust the mix of everything, like how loud you want everything to be, and just for you individually, and everyone has like their own channel where they can have different like a different mix of the music, and especially the having that, it makes it a lot easier to hear whatever, especially when you're doing like improv stuff, to hear like what each other are doing, so you can kind of
Adjust.
yeah, so you can do what
Yeah.
you're like change what you're doing based on what someone else is doing, or
Right.
like kind of listen to each other and play the music together.
Right.
Finding the forks in the road.
But so it's really cool that y'all are just changing the like, you know, who you can hear more. Oh, okay, I can't hear that person as well, so you're just like, you know, setting that up, or this person's too loud, like I can't hear this. So that's really cool to know how that works, because I've always just been curious, because you see it in your ears, you know that they're listening to each other, but how does that work? So that's really cool. Thanks for the
Before we had that, though, the reason why we love it is before, like, you would rely on like front of house guys, or if it's a big show that have monitor people who controlled your monitors, and it's just
It's hard to get it
too
right.
much sound. It's really hard to get it right. And if you go somewhere where the sound guy is kind of shitty, which is
Very careful.
Oh,
Careful.
which
All of the sound guys we've worked with are amazing.
except for the shitty ones. But
Yeah.
so now we take it out of their hands, and like we have control, and then we do this, and then from this we send them the lines so they can do front of house. Like, we don't mess with what the audience is hearing. This is just for us, and
That's cool.
yeah, to have it consistently like pretty much the same every night. Like, rooms change the way it sounds, but we're getting it pretty dialed, and it helps a lot.
That's awesome. That's so cool. It's really awesome.
We need the address of that sound guy.
Yeah.
Actually, at 8 p.m. tonight, we're uploading a Google Doc with the names of all of the sound guys we think are cheating. Doxing them.
So watch for that. Yeah. So who's the most likely to go into a 10-minute solo when asked? Or even not when asked?
I don't know. Definitely wouldn't be me. I mean,
It sounds like something our guitar player would do.
It's nothing to be ashamed about. Some of us are just more vocal than others. That's me. You know,
do you tend to lead more of the
I
improv
feel like
jams
the
and stuff?
nature. I'm gonna use this to defend myself. I feel like the nature of my instrument that's kind of one of its jobs. But I would say yes, I do. I feel like I don't want to say lead the jam, because I don't know. Sometimes like somebody does have to take the reins though, and I'm a melodic instrument, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
We would prefer if we got that 10-minute like floor tom drum solo, but Mike is second best, so let him take it.
Pretty much, you know.
that's awesome though. I mean, I mean, the guitar usually does, and then the drums, you know. So that is another thing. Sometimes I feel like, you know, in your defense, 100%, because you are more expected to do that, and I feel like that sometimes that people are underrated in bands, and that are, for example, keyboardists are kind of like down the lot on not.
Yeah, that's my brother in arms in harmony right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I play
Honestly,
the keys.
If the guitar isn't leading the jam, usually it's the keyboards are.
Yeah, I feel like that's like our role, kind of.
It's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
I would say it's properly balanced the way that we do it, which is like 70 or 60 or 70% guitar led jams, and then 30 or 40, because like Mike said, the nature of the instruments like kind of determine their roles.
He just gets paid less. So
I get paid per note, so I mean, not hard.
I quoted
So yeah, if you get paid per note, we know who's going. Yeah. So,
But I feel like though the cool thing that is like with our jams is like we're all consciously trying to like create this thing where it's not like just somebody taking a solo.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Agreed.
I'm gonna use this as an example because it's easy to describe it like this, but it's like a electronic dance track where you're like bringing things out and bringing them back in, and you're repeating things over and over again and building up and breaking down instead of just somebody playing a solo. You're grooving all together and creating these textures and like I don't know. It's hard to kind of explain it like that, but
Yeah, you're almost like creating like a place.
yeah, it's
is.
not like oh look, that guy's soloing again. It's like, oh wow, they're all taking this thing to a different place, you know.
Yeah, it's like the arcade game where it's y'all are and how y'all are just building off of each other, and just the balls going boom, 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 and
Ponging it.
yeah, ponging it up, and just going up until like it just explodes. Yeah,
Right.
that's really awesome. I love how that's what I never understood when I was younger. I was more into Incubus, which I didn't think that Incubus and 311 and stuff went with the jam band scene as much. And until now that I'm in it, I'm like, yeah, they kind of do. They're not exactly jam band, but the community is stuff like that. But that's the difference between mainstream music and jam band music would just be is the building up, and that's I think what some people find hard, and if they don't have the attention span to pay attention to and it's just I love it. I think it's awesome the way that y'all build off of each other, and the way that y'all just get along and vibe and gel so well together, and have to have that closeness, because if you don't, how are you going to get it out on stage? Because basically you're playing, you might not be singing at all, but you're playing what you're saying, and so you have to get along with these people well. And you can honestly tell when bands don't get along well and when they do get along well of the way the playing goes and stuff. So y'all are it's really cool. How long have y'all been together?
I feel like we've been this group of people for like what, 2 years?
Not even.
Reed and myself started the band with like a couple other people in like 2014, and then we like Lyndon and Mike kind of joined around.
I joined in like 2019 or
2019, and you joined like 2020.
2019, yeah.
So 4 of us have been playing together for like 5-6 years now, and then
They still haven't let me in yet.
yeah, we're still thinking about Tucker back.
I don't know about this guy.
But everything I can to try and convince them.
Tucker's
do a
been
record
full time for
with-
like a year though. He's been full time for
Been
a
a
year.
year,
He
Yeah.
keeps trying to get paid.
And don't you realize in this world you're supposed to do it all for free? And this, that's what everyone asks you to do, it all for free. If you haven't noticed that.
Get some exposure. Pay him the exposure.
So I gotta say one thing about the jam thing, because we talked about Mike and I kind of leading and like melodically, yeah, but Tucker on the drums, I feel like the drums might be the biggest leader of like the group. Whenever no one's soloing, whenever someone's soloing, like they're kind of leading what's going on. But whenever we're soloing or like jamming as a group and improvising, like making music of the moment, I think the drums might be the most important, or at least like kind of the leader.
I love you saying that. I love you saying that, because people do not give drummers and the keys enough credit as they should get whatsoever. And I'm not saying that just because he's a drummer and I play the piano. I'm saying that because literally that's what it is. That's the truth.
It's usually the bass player that has no attention.
That's true. It's usually the bass player also that has no attention. And so, and it's just like, you don't even realize how much runs off the bass line, you know, and how much that, like, how much it all comes together. And then the more, you know, the more of y'all that there are, just like the better. Do y'all ever bring in horns?
Hey, last show we played.
Yeah.
Right? Second to last show.
Yeah, last weekend we did a show in like Orlando area, and one of the other bands playing on the show has a horn section, and we had a couple of those. They hopped up and they did a Tower Power song with us, and it was awesome.
Nice.
Is that on Bandcamp?
Yeah, that's on Bandcamp too.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's Toughies.
Yeah, Toughies.
5-2, I want to say.
No,
Yeah.
5-1.
Toughies 5-1. What is hip with Truphonic horns?
Yeah.
Shout out Truphonic Horns. They killed it.
Yeah, shout out to that. That's awesome. We're gonna have to check that out for sure. I love the horns. So the bigger the band gets, I know it's costs more money, but the more layers that it adds to it. And then it can get where it's too much though. But I guess that's why the Dead, you know, kept just adding people. Like when I went to the Dead for the first time, I was like, good Lord, how many people are on here? But
It's not like Slipknot though.
I love Slipknot. Don't be hating on some Slipknot. I love Slipknot.
I'm not hating on it. Do you have any? Are y'all recording anything right now? Any albums or singles or anything?
We have a couple singles coming out soon, and
Well,
yeah, we're in like the writing process of like a new album right now. So we're
Awesome.
like writing new songs, and
Should we tell them about the concept?
I think y'all should.
yeah. So we're, you know, something that you guys kind of, just to bring it full circle, kind of started out this interview with was like, I listen to so much of your music. Some of it's funky, some of it's reggae, some of it's super heavy. And we're definitely aware of that too. And we love that kind of dichotomy, that contrast there. So I think what we're trying to do with this this next record is kind of have, like, if it was physical, like a record, have an A side, B side, and have the A side be a little bit more groove oriented, a little bit more songwriting oriented, and have the B side be just fucking heavy shit.
Yeah,
That would
Oh,
be
yeah.
amazing. Let's
That
get
was eloquent
physical,
enough.
physical.
that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. That would be super cool.
Having the same concept, but having two different sound dynamics.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. that's
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
bit of
So
a yin and yang kind of thing.
Yin yang
Yeah.
type vibe.
The angel and the demon kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
because we all have that, everything, the yin and the yang. That's kind of like what the album would be, the yin and the yang of the different types, and just but jamming it both sides. That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right. And then y'all have a couple shows coming up in North Carolina, the 15th, 16th, and 17th. And there'll be two near Asheville, near Black Mountain and Mills River. And then in Charlotte on the 17th. And then the 23rd, you're back in Florida, it looks like, at the Sugar Shack downtown. And then the 6th of June, you're going to be at Guanabanas in Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like
then
Guanabanas.
July 11th, you're coming back up to Charleston, South Carolina at the Poorhouse. And then July
Ooh.
12th, it's going to be at the Moon Shadow Tavern. And then on the 17th, it's the Funky Biscuit in Boca Raton.
So peeps also know that the weekend in Charleston is around the same time that Fish is going to be there. So make sure to get your Ajeva tickets while you're there, and so that you're having a whole funky time and weird time that weekend. So you'll have a great time. But thank you so much, guys, for being on here with us. Let's give the band a round of applause. Y'all too. Round of applause.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all having the fun.
Thank you so much for all y'all do. And can't wait to see y'all next week. And thanks for the funky time. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.